Hey everybody, I'm here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. In the previous episode, we arrived in the Great Bay Coast, but unfortunately we were too late to save Macau, the Zora guitarist. In today's episode, we're going to be storming the Gerudo pirate fortress in hopes of saving Lulu's fish eggs. So now we're getting into more detail on how Zora Link actually controls in this game. So he fights just like Link when he's underwater. So that's pretty interesting. The Zora fins can act like a boomerang, which will stun enemies, which is pretty awesome. You definitely want to be careful with these enemies because these are like-likes. And like-likes, when you fight them on the ground in human form, have a tendency of stealing your shield. So if you can, try to fight them as Zora Link. Now, something really common in video games is that swimming is usually slow or just not that great, or you have the stress of drowning underwater. Nope! In Majora's Mask, you have amazing swimming controls. You can swim so fast, and you have the shield that lets you defend yourself while fighting enemies as well. It is so cool, and it's easily my favorite method of swimming in any video game ever. On the 3DS version, unfortunately, this is locked by magic. That was not the case in the Nintendo 64 version. Everybody that I've ever talked to says they loved the Zora controls in the Nintendo 64 version. They were perfect and they were awesome. They intentionally changed them in the 3DS version to make them worse when they were already perfect. Nobody I know likes this change. This is easily one of the worst changes that they have made in the 3DS version. I'm going to try not to complain about it too much, but I am going to bring it up from time to time because it is something that legitimately bothers me. Ah, Macau! What are you doing in a place like this? This is the ominous pirate's fortress. I don't think you should get too close. But I'm okay. Well, actually, the pirate in the fortress are all women, and better yet, I hear they're all gorgeous. So I thought maybe I should check them out. But don't look at me like that. I always loved that so much. So be careful with these boards because if you go into the wrong one, you're going to get damaged. But you go into that one and you should be fine. And welcome to the Pirate's Fortress. The music here is so good. Hey, you, halt! I was just complimenting your music. Hooray for jump cuts. Okay, so we got a taste of the big gameplay gimmick with this area a bit quicker than I was. Nobody was looking at me! The one time you don't want a girl to notice you. Hooray for jump cuts. Okay, so we got a taste of the big gameplay gimmick in this area a bit quicker than I intended to. So we definitely need to be careful in this area because this is a stealth section. If the Gerudo pirates catch you, then they're going to throw you out the back, and it's not going to be all that pleasant experience at all. So what we want to do is there is a gate way back over there we didn't see because I wasn't paying attention to it, but it's closed right now, so what can we do about that? First of all, we want to stay underwater so the Gerudo pirates can go away. I'll wait for the pirate to go that way, and go, 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 go. I always get so nervous during this part. Okay, we should be good. So for this next area, we're going to want to pull out the Goron mask briefly for a moment. And it's also worth mentioning, I'm going to switch over to the bomb screen real quick. I rearranged my items just a little bit so that the main mask transformations are all in this area over here. So that's something that's fairly worth mentioning. That's one thing that I really love about this game is that you can rearrange the locations of the items on the menu anytime. That's just so cool. I really wish more Zelda games did that. Alright, so now that we've taken care of that, going back to my rants about the Zora swimming controls in the 3DS version, the thing is, this right here where you swim like that, that's fine. I don't mind that very much because you do go quickly, and it still makes it easy for you to go around tight turns, which is a big reason why they made the change in the first place. But I wish you could have that and the option to use the attack, the magic, swimming, if that makes any sense, which it probably doesn't. Like, I wish that this was activated with the R. I'm getting really tongue-tied right now, I apologize for that. This right here is activated by pressing the R button, which, if you had magic, would be how you'd activate this magic swimming. But I wish it was mapped to the B button instead, so that you can use that attack to go around tight turns and things like that without having to rely on your magic or anything like that. Because the big thing about the swimming in this game is that you're going to want to use the fastest swimming a lot. And there's a lot of stuff in the Great Bay Coast that requires magic. This is probably one of the most magic-intense areas in Majora's Mask. Not because of the Zora Link swimming. So it just seems really poorly thought out that they changed that and made it locked behind magic. It's just a really, really bad decision. I'm sorry, but it is. That being said, though, this is not my least favorite change that they've made in Majora's Mask. We're going to get to that soon enough. And the thing is, this was my favorite region on the Nintendo 64 version. I always looked forward to coming to Great Bay Coast in the original game. It was my favorite region in the game. It had my favorite temple. We'll be seeing that fairly soon. But it just seems like they went out of their way to make everything that I love about this area worse. It's just one of my least favorite changes that they've made in the Zelda remake. I don't know why I took off the Goron mask right there, because I kind of wanted to still use that. This right here, I do appreciate that they still have a use for a Goron Link, even in this region of the game. This is what I meant when I said earlier in the Let's Play, that I really do appreciate the fact that the mask transformations continuously remain important as the game goes on. Technically, we don't need to use the Goron Link for that, but we did need it for opening up one of the gates outside. So, yeah. That's the best way to end a sentence. And I cannot speak my sentences properly because I didn't drink enough water and my lips are dry. That's not great for commentary. Also, watch out for those currents in the water, because if you get caught in them, you'll end up at the beginning of the fortress. So you definitely want to keep an eye out for that. Alright, heading over here. Step on the switch and go this way. And shoot the switch. Speaking of switches, that kind of reminded me of something funny. So, lately Nintendo has announced that the Nintendo Switch is going to be getting like a handheld-only model, which is pretty cool because it gives people more options to get a Switch if they want to get a cheaper option and things like that. So that's pretty cool and all, but I refuse to call it the Switch Lite. I have decided from here on forward, or whatever the term is, I've decided from here on out that I'm going to forever call it a Light Switch. And no one can convince me otherwise. So you can look around the fortress over here. It'd be a little bit more interesting to look at if it was during the daytime, so I do apologize for that. But how we can get over there, you may be asking. Well, there's another switch over here. I wish this game was on the Switch, because that would be awesome. This place looks so pretty at night. This is such a pretty game. I love the lighting effect of the torches. It just looks so good. And it still looks good on the N64 version. Hey, how you doing? Alright, so before we move on, first of all, I gotta say, thank you for putting this here, Nintendo. Thank you so much for putting the save point here. Oh man, I love that so much. But also, I'm going to switch over to the bottom screen real quick to demonstrate the fact that I've gone out of my way to get the green potion and the red potion. I got these both in Clocktown, which you'll see in the corner of the screen if you want. I highly recommend you do this before you come to this place. So, we're going to be equipping these real quick. Going back to this screen, and the thing about this area is that you need to be careful with the... No! Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I was freaking out for a moment because I thought that I had the bow still equipped to the X button, and I thought that I wasted the potion because I needed it for later, but I was out of magic anyway, so I don't know what I was so concerned about. So, the thing with this area is that to knock out the Gerudo pirates, you need to shoot them with a bow and arrow. So that's something that's pretty well worth mentioning. Also, worth mentioning, you can never actually kill a Gerudo, you can only knock them out. Which, I gotta say, we've fought giant monsters before using swords and things like that, but that doesn't affect a Gerudo pirate or anything like that. What are they made out of? Are they made out of the same material as Tingle? Ah, so somebody finally noticed me. The name's Shiro. I'm a Clocktown soldier. Thing is, I've never been able to get others to notice me. It's depressing. I thought I'd maybe stand out if I did something brave, so I infiltrated the pirate's fortress, but then, well, I ran out of entry, and now here I am. I've been crying out for help for what feels like an eternity, but not even those blasted pirates seem to notice. Typical, really. It's because of my personality, right? I have about as much presence as a stone. That's my lot in life, I guess. I have a request. Can you give me some medicine that will make me feel better? And this is the reason why I wanted to get the red medicine. And I just realized I didn't actually need to equip that because we could just use it on this screen. Oh, is that it? I feel better, I think. Thanks, so here, in gratitude, we get the Stone Mask. If you're playing on the Nintendo 64 version, this is in a very different place. And it's kind of in a weird place, because in that version, you had to go into what's supposed to be the next region in the game, fairly far in there. And keep in mind, this guy's invisible, so it was really hard to figure out where this guy was if you didn't already know where he was. This is a change that I completely agree with. I think it's a great place to put him here, but at the same time, I wish that they put him in a place that's a little bit more out of the way. I don't know, it's just kind of a weird situation in my opinion. Now, time to make my escape. See you later! So, with the Stone Mask, with this ability, if I can put it onto the thing, there we go. This will make it so that we can walk in front of everybody and no one will ever notice. Yay! It's just like high school all over again! Challenge accepted! Now I did that on purpose because something that I really love is that if you go out here and talk to this guy, how will I ever get home? Swimming's out of the question. My armor's so heavy I'd sink like, well, like a stone. I'm sorry, this isn't your problem. Don't worry, I'll be fine. And on that note, we're ending this video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. In the next episode, we're going to be storming deeper into the Gerudo Pirate Fortress. Until next time, leave the gear to you. Oh yeah.